Okay, so this is going to be really hard because I'm using my laptop and it's hard to try it at different angles. But it's 12:08. Here's my lunch. My camera is really terrible, so I don't know if it's doing it any justice. But this is what I'm having. Pecan pork from Freshly. Because obviously I can't get on a schedule to meal prep and meal plan. But I've never had this before. Not sure how I feel about it yet. Only had one bite of the pork. And my laptop's really acting up because I think somebody dropped it. Probably me. Okay. I'm not very good at being descriptive, but I can give it a try. I'm really trying to just cheer myself up because I've had a really not fun morning. See the pecan on top of the pork? And I think that's squash or sweet squash and raisins or some sweet grape-like fruit, like cranberries or something, and green beans. So I'm in my scrubs. It doesn't have my school name on, but I'm in my scrubs. And today we went to tour the hospitals that we'll be doing our clinicals at. And I'm debating if I should say the backstory or not. But It's 12:12, so I should probably just eat and go to work and not try to make this video right now. But I've had a rough morning. So here's the backstory. Last year, I passed 2 of my 3 semesters, and during my summer semester, I failed one or maybe 2, but mostly 1 of my classes out of 4. So in summer semester, I had 4 classes and I failed 1. The second one I failed, but there was things where I could have gotten more points, but because I knew I failed one of my classes, I wasn't gonna stress about the other one because I would have to restart my whole program. So I didn't sweat it. I needed 75 to pass my classes, and I got a 73, I believe, or 72. I don't remember. But anyways, that's the backstory. So I've been through this course that I'm in right now. I've already passed this semester 2 semesters ago. So I've completed 3 semesters, and now I'm restarting, so I'm on the first semester again with new people, except for like 5 people that also did the same thing that I did and failed and had to restart. So I have been to the hospitals before, and today was a tour on how to find the hospitals and how and where to park for student parking, right? There's 4 hospitals that we do our clinicals at, and I'm a chronically late person. I'm constantly working on it, but I've never been able to go to school extremely early this whole semester, and I only have 1 month left, and it's a 15-week program, semester. Today we know we're gonna all dressed up in our scrubs and our lab jackets and go to the hospital to tour, right? So we were supposed to try to make it early to school so we can all drive behind each other towards the hospital, right? I didn't want to get out of bed as per usual, but then I eventually got up at 7:15, which is earlier than I normally do, because I normally get up at 7:30 or something like that and rush to class at 8. But anyways, I got up at 7:15, and then I'm on my period, so I tried to like change because I showered at like 3 o'clock last night because I was really paranoid about today. Like, I just knew it wasn't gonna go well, but I was trying to make it go well, so I like picked out my lab coat, make sure it's all. I even re-washed it last night because I didn't think it was white enough or crisp enough. It had a little bit of crush on creases, so I washed it again early in the morning, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, showered and washed my hair, which I shouldn't have, but whatever, and picked out my scrub set and picked out my socks, picked out my underwear, picked out my pads because I use cloth pads, and I just like had everything ready to go so I can get there on time. But I ended up leaving the house at I think 7:47. Wow. When I got into my car, or maybe it was a little bit earlier than that, maybe 7:37. But I got up, I was like stressing out on like, do I need to change my pad because I just put on a new one at 3, but I slept in it. So, and of course I had blood everywhere. Woke up in a pool of blood as usual. Well, I didn't even wake up in a pool of blood yesterday or the day before. Today, just miraculously, I slept for 3 hours and I had to wake up in a pool of blood. Blah. But anyways, I pretty much changed my pad. I don't even know if I re-showered. I was rushing. But I got a new one, put the other one to soak, and I didn't have anything to eat. I was starving. I ran out the door, left my purse and my wallet. Ugh, my phone wasn't even charged. Dumb. Oh my god, I can never get my life right. And I can't believe I left my ID and my purse and everything. But I ran into the car, got into the car, turned the car on, backed out of the driveway, and then when I put it in drive, the backup camera came off, which doesn't work, and it just blacks out the screen, so I can't even look at the time. And once I got onto the road, it was 7:51. Like I have what, 9 minutes to get to school plus 8 minutes since my car is 8 minutes fast. But God, it was terrible. I got onto the main road and it was a long ass line of traffic, and I'm like, wow, it's a lot better leaving at 7:30 than it is leaving 7:15 for school. But whatever. I got to school at like 8:03. I hauled ass, man. But I should be eating, I'm not talking. But I got to school at 8:03. I saw I saw three cars leaving school, and it looked like they were wearing white jackets. So I thought maybe the classmates were leaving. So I'm like, shit, do I need to like do a U-turn and like go behind them? Like, shit, am I 3 minutes late? That bad? Like, was I supposed to be here like 7:45 or something? Oh my god, did I miss something? Oh my god. So I got into the parking lot where I normally park, and I see two of my classmates that are normally late. Two, and I'm like, one is like rushing to put on her lab jacket and walking towards class, and the other one is like doing stuff around her car. I don't know what. So I like jumped up. I already had my lab coat on. Jumped up out of my car. I was gonna. I put. Uh, I put a tom on my head, or I tied my hair up because I washed my hair last night and I didn't. It was 3 in the morning. I didn't have time to style it. I tried, but it just would take forever. So I just like covered my hair up, and then I started running to catch the other girl that was walking briskly to class, and she took another way, and I tried to like intercept or get a shortcut, and like so I start running up the stairs and try to like race her, and I was almost close to class, and I was like, I can't go into class with this thing on my head. Like, I don't know if that's against the rules or anything, so I just took it off, stuffed it in my pocket, and then got into class. Everybody else was in there, so I'm glad that I actually went to class, because I thought that some of my classmates had already drove off, and I asked the girl that was fidgeting around her car, like, did I just see some of the other girls going that way? Like, last year when we went, we took the opposite way, so I wasn't sure. But I really thought all three of them had a white lab coat on, like we, and like whatever. My English is terrible. And I know her car. One of the girls in my class has a red car, hatchback. So I'm like, did I just see her car? And she's like, no, that's her car over there parked. So I'm like, you sure? And she's like, yeah. So when I got to class and saw that everybody else was in there, I was like, yes, relief. But the girl I was trying to race, she was already in class, out of breath, because she was saying that she ran up all the stairs. But staying into class for like 4 more minutes. I think my teacher was telling them, explaining the directions and whatever, but I wasn't paying attention. I saw GPS address on the board, two different ones, and someone was trying to do it on their phone and blah blah blah. My phone was about to die, but I knew my way. But I was thinking about a completely different hospital. Anyways, I was like, I'm just gonna follow the line. We should be fine. Got in the line. Everybody's leaving. Went back to our cars. Some people are carpooling with each other, and I'm like, crap. Nobody asked me to carpool. Like, would it be weird if I asked? Or last time I tried doing that last year, they didn't want to take me back. Like, I had to ride with somebody else because they were going in a different direction. They weren't coming back to school, and it was just stressful. And I was like, ugh, don't want to do that. I'll just take my own car because I know where the hospitals are. I've been there before. Well, I thought I knew where they were. I've been there so many times last year. It should be fine. Nope. Got in the line. We left school. I'm driving behind this car. One of my lab partners are following me. And it's 12:25. I need to get ready for work. And then we get to a light. And the light turns yellow. And I'm like, oh my god. Here we go. And then I was like, should I go or should I not go? If I go, my lab partner behind me will have to stop at the light or break the light. I know where I've been to the hospitals many times, so I'm just gonna stop. Should be a straight road from here. Around. So I stopped at the light. And the light was green again. I was leading the new line. 3 cars behind me, including my instructor. I'm going. I know my way. I got to hospital number 1. I'm looking around. Starting to slow down. My lab partner's still behind me. I'm not seeing the other cars that left at the light. Oh shit. I went to the student parking. Still not seeing anyone. Lab partner parks. I jump out of my car and I go to her and I'm like, is this the hospital that we were gonna go to? And she's like, I don't know anything. I'm new, remember? Like, oh dear. She's like, the cars behind me though, when we took a right, they took a left. I'm like, oh god, we're at the wrong place. Then I remembered the address that was written on the board and I'm like, oh, I know where they're going. They're going to hospital number 2. So I'm like, okay, I know where we're going. Never meant to say I know where I was going, how to get there, but jumped in my car, started to drive, pull out the parking spot, then I stopped. I'm like, let me put this on my phone. Try to get my phone to work, and it would not work. 3 minutes later, the longest 3 minutes of my life, I decided I give up on this phone. Let's just go. And maybe it will start working while I'm going. So I started to go. I'm about to leave the hospital. The phone's still not working. I leave the hospital. And phone's still not working. So focused on the phone, decided to pull over, like 2 blocks down. I decided to a half a block down. I decided to pull over and tell her, hey, let's use your phone instructions because my phone's not working. Pulled over and she is nowhere to be found. Oh my god. So I'm like, oh god, I lost her now. Like, she was following me, so I felt responsible for her, and I lost her. So I'm starting to stress. I'm like, okay, I'm going the wrong way. I'm going the way back to school. I need to go the way to the hospital. So pulled over in the parking lot. Finally waited there for a little bit to see if she would find me. Watched all the cars pass, but not her. So I'm guessing that was where we took the wrong turn to go into the hospital. And she must have gone the opposite way or something. But I decided to GPS my phone, wait on it till it started working. And then finally it starts working, and I went back on the road. When I'm about to pass hospital number 1, my phone starts ringing. It's one of my classmates from last year. Where the hell are you? The instructor is asking, where are you? Are you really lost again? Yes, I'm lost again. And I could be looking at my GPS right now to figure out which way to go if you weren't calling my phone. But I'm like, I'm fine, I'm almost there, I'm on my way. I didn't say almost there. She's asking, are you almost there? I'm like, I don't even know. But I'm like, I'm almost there. I mean, no, I didn't say I'm almost there. I just said, I'm on my way. I was trying to get her off the phone. She's like, I can't hear you. Okay, we're gonna go in now because we can't wait on you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. I don't even know why I had to go anyways. I've already been there. Well, obviously, this doesn't help me. I got off the phone with her, trying to find my way. Think I'm on the right way. The phone rings again. Another classmate. Hey girl, where are you? She's really nice. I really like her. But she's like, are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, do you know where you are? And I'm like, I don't know where I am. And she's like, you don't even know where you are? And I'm like, oh, well, if everybody would stop calling me, I could find my way. And then I immediately regret saying that because I felt like a jerk. Because she's really nice to me and I really like her. But I can't use my GPS and drive on my phone while I'm talking on the phone. It just, I was frustrated. I was sad. Tried to call my husband too. And I'm like, why am I even calling him? Blah. I called him, told him I was lost. Yada, yada, yada. He's not rushing to work, so he didn't really want to talk about me. He just said, damn, it sucks, blah, blah, blah. Made a bunch of U-turns. 1 hour later, I finally got there. It was only like 17 minutes away from the school, and I got there an hour later. Fun stuff. But anyways, I got to the parking lot for hospital number 2. There was no parking space. I circled it twice for, apparently I don't know what to do. And then I finally decided to park in the parking lot next to it, but it looks like another company was there. I don't know. So I just did it anyways. And then I was like, should I walk to the hospital? I don't even know where to go in the hospital. Like, should I just stay here and wait for them? And then I stayed in the parking lot. I text my husband, tell him that I start crying and shit. I was like, I'm crying in the parking lot. I don't know where to go. This is like deja vu happening all over again from last year. Oh, I'm late. It was just a terrible feeling, you know? And I'm bleeding out and just, it was a horrible feeling. And then, 2 or 3 minutes later, the shuttle bus pulls up and he's like, are you going to the hospital? I'm like, yeah. And then he takes me over there. And as soon as we pull up, we see them, my classmates, leaving the hospital. Fun, huh? So I'm like, do I even need to get off the bus? Because they're all going to come back on the bus. But I was like, oh, well, what the hell? So I decided to get off the bus, and they're like, oh, hey, you're here. We're leaving. Fun. But anyways, I got off the bus and made a U-turn and got right back on, and then everybody else started coming on. Half of them start walking with the instructor because it was like right down the street from the parking lot. And then I was like, which hospital are we going to now? To the girl that was sitting next to me. I was trying to ask her the whole ride over, but I just couldn't muster up the strength to ask her. And then finally when we got off the bus, I asked her, but she was about to start talking to somebody else, so she guess she didn't hear me. Because I'm a really low talker. I don't talk very loud. And then she like turned her back to me and started talking to somebody else. And so the first girl that called me, I walked up to her and asked her, and she just said it nonchalantly. Oh, we're going to hospital number 3. I kept walking. And it just felt like she didn't want us to be bothered with me, So anyways, get into my car. Okay, I'm gonna GPS it this time. My phone's not working, blah, blah, blah. Then I see the other students that were walking finally got over the parking lot, and it seems like they're like regrouping. And so I'm like, shit. So I drove up to them, jumped out of my car, not in the parking spot, and like try to see what they were talking about. My instructor was in the middle. And so I'm really glad I did that, because he was talking about putting us in different groups and blah blah blah. And another girl walked over to me and asked me, hey, do you want to ride with us? It's like 3 of us, so there's room for one more. And I'm like, oh, I don't really want to do that. No, I'll be fine. And then she like kept insisting. And then after she said that, that's when my instructor was like on the other side saying, hey, we're going to put you all in group. You go with you go with you. And I was so happy to see the girl that was following me found her way, because I thought I lost her. I was responsible for losing her, blah, 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 blah. Apparently, she had a flat tire or something. And so my instructor was telling her to like drive with him or something like that, or drive behind him or something like that, or he'll drive behind her, something of that sort. And then I was like, damn, I thought I was having a terrible day. And then the girl that invited me to drive with them kept insisting, so I was like, okay. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna park my car in a parking spot. Since I'm not in any parking spot, I just like pulled over to like join the group that was regrouping to hear what you guys were talking about, because I saw the instructor like grouping up everybody. So I was like waiting for somebody. After he put us all in groups, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna ride with you guys. And I was like debating if I should even leave my car at this hospital, but whatever. Finally subdued and say okay, And then somebody pulled out and I took their spot. And even before that, I was getting back into my car, and then my instructor was like, no, you need to go with them. So embarrassing. Like, I am. I'm just gonna park my car in a spot. So embarrassing, but whatever. So the girl at the window was like, I can't ride in the middle, so she's like moving over. So she had her seatbelt on, so she's like, will you go in the middle? And I'm like, yeah, no problem, sure. And I was about to so I decided to take my lab coat off, so I won't be too hot, because I was gonna be in the middle and blah blah blah. As soon as I take my lab coat off, I see blood on my lab coat. I'm like, oh shit. Right as soon as I'm going into this person's car, I have blood on my lab coat, so oh my god. I start panicking now, and I'm right in the middle of going into the middle seat, so I was like, shit. So I sat on my hand, and then I didn't even sit. I just put my hand underneath my butt and used my other hand to lift my body up like that. It was so uncomfortable. And then The lady that invited me to drop with them was talking to me, and I was like, ugh, so not in a good mood. I was crying before, I don't want to cry again right now, and it's just, I'm bleeding, I'm trying not to sit, bleed on your car, just leave me alone. It was just terrible, terrible, terrible experience. And then we finally got to hospital number 3, and I was like, thinking if I should put my lab coat on, and so I put it on and just like hold the blood spot, and then I realized that I wasn't even holding the blood spot, so I took it back off and just folded it over in my hand, and I'm like, I'm wearing dark blue scrubs, so my blood probably won't show as much as on the white lab coat, so I folded the lab coat and just had it in my hand. I was freezing in the hospital, but then we just were standing around to get ID badges. I already had mine because I'm a failed student from last year, and so I didn't need to get one. And then we were just standing there after everybody got their badge, and then they divide us into 2 groups. One group going to tour, and then the other group was going to go, and I'm in the second group. And then I see the girl who nonchalantly told me which hospital we were going to go, the one who first called me, start walking towards the restrooms. And she's like, I really need to go. And she's like, I'm not even on my period. And ugh. So I was like, yeah, I need to go to the bathroom too, because I don't know what's going on back there. So it was she and another girl, and it was just a single bathroom, so I had to wait on her to get out, and then the new girl went in, and then she was like, I'm sorry it took so long, but I'm on my period, and I tried to get a napkin, and napkins fell everywhere, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, I thought I was having a bad day. And I'm not the only one on my period, so cheer up, bucko. And then it's my turn to go into the bathroom. I go in, try to check my butt. I couldn't see any blood, but I checked my pad, and it was bleeding on the sides, and ugh. So I got some paper towels and wrapped it around the pad, and then I rinsed out the blood out of my lab coat, and it came out really easy, so it must have just happened like right as I was about to go into the girl's car. And then I rinsed that out, and then I opened the door, and it was my instructor, and he's a guy. And I looked, and I saw that my group already left, and I'm like, oh my god, like, can this day get any better? And he's like, oh, I was just checking on you. And I'm like, don't even talk to me. I didn't say anything to him, and he was like showing me where to go, and I rushed. I couldn't get through the door, so he like called security to unlock the door. Oh my god. And then I finally caught up to my group, but it looked like they had just left, and whatever. And finally caught up to my group, and I need to go to work. I don't want to be late for work. Finally caught up to my group, and then they just walked in a circle, and then the coordinator for the program I'm in of that department at the hospital was like talking about what the day is like. Sometimes it's like busy, sometimes it's not, blah blah blah. And then after the little tour was over, I felt a lot more comfortable with the group of people I was driving with, and I didn't have to sit on my hands anymore because I brought myself a napkin, so I hope. And yeah, I just came home starving, and I'm supposed to be eating and have work at 1, so I have like 18 minutes. So that's the day I've been having. Fun me. And then tomorrow I have 1 exam, and then Thursday I have 2 exams back to back. So fun week. Yay, November.